All my papers in there.
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah.
Welcome to Conversations with Malik podcast, coming to you from Long Island, New York. I'm glad to have you and thank you all who are listening and watching this show. This podcast is about the stories of transformation of regular people during the basic struggle and pain of life.
That's right.
Everyone has a testimony. We all have survived the darkness. Now let's talk about how we got to the light so we can help our brothers and sisters who still haven't overcome their demons. But guess what?
Talk to me, my brother.
We all have devils on different levels. So through conversations, we use the tools of insight to light the path for hope. Let's have a chat and stop running from our issues. If we live through it, then talking about it probably won't kill us. That's what we're doing. Talking, crying, looking inward so we can grow outward is the theme of this show.
That's right.
The caterpillar transforming into the butterfly is the goal and purpose of this podcast. When you talk about you, I learn about me. Iron sharp as iron.
Steel sharp and steel.
So we can cut through the fog of despair into the hope of today. Welcome to Conversations with Malik featuring Jeff Joes.
Yes, sir.
And please don't forget to follow us at convoswithmalik.com, convoswithmalik.com,
Colin W. Malik, Instagram,
Facebook, Conversations with Malik.
Apple iTunes.
We're here.
We here.
We
Our
here.
YouTube channel is buzzing.
Yeah, the YouTube channel is up, so it's new. But you know, listen, thanks for the little bit of likes and listens that we're getting so far.
Hey, listen, whatever we could get, you know, as long as you guys is into our messages, because we have some real great stories on the show.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
You know?
and the quality content is there. And please like us, subscribe, share. If you're on YouTube, hit the little bell so you get the alerts.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, we want to thank everybody who helps out with the show. I want to thank Kareem the Dream Raheem for all of the audio engineering that he does, making sure that the sounds is excellent and the music that he puts in.
That's right.
You know, I want to thank Wendell, the cameraman with the plan.
Cameraman.
You know, thank you for all of the hard and tireless work that you do. Justin Ma, social media guru.
That's right.
Justin, you the bomb. Thanks, baby. Shout out to Dawn Michelle Promotions.
Dawn.
You know, sending the guests. Everybody for over at Another Chance Media and AC for Inmates.
That's right.
You know, we got the series going with the federal prisoners. And so we take time out to do that with those guys. So, you know, thank you guys. We love y'all a lot.
Yeah.
And just, you know, because this is a team effort, man, and we're blessed. We're blessed to be here. You know, we're blessed to do a show.
Right.
And how you doing, co-host with the most?
Oh man, feeling good. Good weather. You know, like I was saying when we was off camera, I was looking at, you know, we live in the suburban area here, so you know, I was telling our guests here, Tuwanna, like these landscapers can't wait to come out.
Yeah. The landscapers is out, man. I was looking on my camera thing, and I was like, and my landscaper's my neighbor. So you know he bust me down first. I was like, oh shit, so soon, what? You can't wait until the lease.
Oh my God.
But they out, man. And listen, we got a special guest here with us tonight. We got Tuwanna Anderson in the house. Right? In the house. And listen, the Malik Adam James Foundation, we're going to be talking to her about her story, her life, the foundation, the spirit behind the foundation. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh my gosh, welcome.
We appreciate you here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Honestly, it's an honor to sit here with you guys tonight, and I just have to first and foremost thank God for allowing us to be here and to congregate like this in this, you know, this momentum, because this is what it takes. You know, this is what it's about, and I love it.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me.
Yeah, and listen, let me tell you something. I'm already having ideas because I'm like, yo, she's not too far from here.
Yeah.
You might have to come on the show more than once, but we're gonna see how this goes. But, you know, I'm like, man, because first of all, she has an excellent spirit.
Yeah.
Wonderful sister. And you know, we at first, our first year, and we just embarked on our first year, so you know God is good.
Way over 100 episodes.
Way over, you know, and we're working, man. And you know, we was talking about, I think we was talking about it yesterday, how this takes up a lot of our.
Yeah.
This is a sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you're serious about something and you're trying to, push the envelope, a lot of times, we're gonna sacrifice some things that we normally do in our personal life just to get us to where we need to get to. I guess that's with anything that your passion and your heart is in.
Absolutely.
This is serious for us, and we like to, we finding our way, but at the same time we saw that, our progress.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy too. I guess the key is that we enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because we get to meet wonderful people like you.
Wow. We get to learn from people like you as well, from their experiences and stuff.
And so it's funny because we start the show with the word of the day, right? And we're not going to do any current events today because we kind of really want to talk with you about your story. But I was thinking about the word of the day and what the word of the day could be for you. And I was looking on your website and I was thinking about the foundation and all of the things that you're doing. That you buried your son,
yes,
right? And I have a nephew that was murdered, and I know what it was like for my family, and my sister.
I'm sorry for your loss.
And I see what she's had to endure, but what she's had to endure has led to endurance.
Absolutely.
And so the word endurance, was it came up for me, man. And so we each take about a minute to share on endurance, and I'll start it off. And and endurance to me is like we keep pushing on,
right,
in spite of, right, and endurance is built like it. So like if you jog, right, or you work out, we was talking about exercising. You build your endurance through putting your body through the pain of exercise.
Absolutely.
And it's the same way with the spiritual. We build up our spiritual muscle only through having to go through pain. I mean, how else do you build it?
Right. That's true.
I mean, so you got some situations, and you're going through a divorce, and not to put yourself out. I mean, you talk about it on the show, and you're going through a divorce. Your endurance is being built,
right,
to go through troubling times and troubling situations. The only way it's going to be built unless you go through.
Yeah, and it makes you stronger too. It makes you understand, different elements of growth. Things happen in life. You have to figure your way, out of things. Sometimes you're gonna have to go through pain. People have to get hurt in order for you to kind of maneuver your way through getting things to be better. So now when you I don't want to say this will happen again, but when you impact it again, the magnitude of what takes place, it doesn't feels like it is that bad.
Right, because you've been through some stuff.
Because you've been through some stuff already.
Yeah, you've been through some stuff in life.
Absolutely. It's funny, when you say endurance for me, and as I listen to your shares, I definitely agree with both of you. I've been through a divorce. I've been through a loss of a child. I've been through things that have pushed me, to that level of, oh, can I do this any longer? When I think of endurance, it's that moment of, oh, come on, can I go that one step further?
Oh.
That feeling?
Goodness.
Yeah, right there.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, that feeling. And it's, those moments. And I have so many of them that I can share with you guys, and, that's endurance. That's that thing. And for me, getting there so many times and wanting to, at times, give up. Wanting at times to say, well, why me? In all of these instances, being honest. The other side, that little voice, and it's for me that little voice, and that voice is very much a whisper at times, and then sometimes it could come as a roar. But the voice is always telling me, come on, kid, we got to keep pushing. There is no give up. You know, there's too many reasons why you cannot give up.
Yeah. And I can imagine how hard it is for
Oh.
a woman. Because, of course, I hate to say this, but it's, you know, women are very emotional.
A mess.
Yeah.
Emotionally, yes, I would say for myself, because I am here speaking about me.
You tried to say that so that was good, Jim. You tried to say that so nice.
No, let's bring it out. You know, I'm very open and honest about me.
Breaking through stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Gotta be hard.
You know, it's funny, and you touched on something that I gotta tell you has really been a gift in endurance too, which I'm gathering now in my older years, so to speak. But endurance also allows you, like you said, to go through challenges in life that now play in my wisdom. Ooh, what a change. So what's happening is actually I am being asked to bring all those situations that I have endured into the light to help others. What a place to be
And
at
possibly
this point.
make some money off of it too.
I would hope. I mean, I hope that we're gonna cut that part out. Yeah, I run it on my own. But,
but look,
but it's real. You know?
We get asked to speak places.
Yeah.
We get opportunities in business.
Absolutely.
Because of who we are.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, you know what? It's true. I just came a few months ago, and I was down at Core 4, which is the NBA scouting for basketball youth. And I went down there to meet with Paul Millsap and not Paul Millsap, I'm sorry, D'Angelo Simmons, his agent, and Elijah Millsap. And these are, you know, NBA players. Paul is third ranking highest. And when I got down there, what you said is true, because I got down there, I met with him, and we talked about the foundation and doing some stuff, and he turned around and goes, "Go talk to the boys." And I went, "Huh?" He goes, "Come back tomorrow morning, I want you to talk to the boys while you're here." And he put me on the spot, and he actually turned around and, you know, put me out there to talk to them, and literally wanted to pay, you know, and I'll be honest about it, like he was. He said, "You know what?" And I said, "No, I don't want anything from you." He goes, "No, you don't understand. This is your time and your effort and your energy." But, you know, me losing a child, that's not what I do it for ever. But it is part of the fact that it does cost to do all this.
Yeah, it costs to travel.
Oh, that's the problem. You know, that's the issue. It does cost. And then there's that balance that I try to find where I say I don't want to be a martyr, you know, and try to take this on to myself. But at the same token, it's always up front that I do this because I lost my child.
And let's get into that.
Let's go.
Because that's why we're here.
Absolutely.
We're here because Malik Adam James,
Yes.
that was his name.
Yes, it is.
Little backdrop. What type of child was Malik?
Ooh, nice. Malik was a Gemini, and I'm very into the zodiac, and I'm very, you know, spiritual, and I believe that the universe, you know, works through people in certain ways depending on their birth. So the Gemini is a free spirit. So from very young, Malik's was a free spirit. You know, he could not conform to basic. Let's just go to school. Let's come home. Let's do the homework. You know, Malik was more like, I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna get those grades for you, but after that, Mom, I'm gonna like go over here with my friends. You know, and from very young, he was very independent. By the time he was 17, he had moved out in Canarsie into his own room. And pretty much told me, "Ma, I got this."
Sounds like me.
Yeah.
I moved out when I was 19.
Yeah, he was real about it. I remember one time saying, "You know, if you can't follow these rules, you know the whole mom thing."
Right.
And he said, "I'm gonna take you up on that, Mom." And he left. You know, and
That's the same thing I did.
Yeah, he took me up on that. So wait a minute, you wasn't serious. He called me over about 3 days later and made me come see the room that he had gotten because he didn't want me to worry.
Yep.
And he said, "Ma, this is where I live," and it was about maybe 20 minutes from where I lived, and he was good. And to the day he passed away, he never lived with me again. You know, he was independent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was he staying with anybody?
No, actually, yes. He actually found love and was with a woman when he passed away that he had been with for about 4 or 5 years, living in Rochdale, Queens. And
I grew up in Rochdale.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up in Rochdale Village.
Yeah, living a great life. He grew up to like, as most kids did. He struggled for a while. You know, hit the streets for a little bit and then realized, listen, it ain't gonna do it, you know. And thank God his time out there was short, you know, because I was that type of parent that I'm not gonna entice your foolishness, and I'm not going to condemn or condole. I'm just gonna let you be.
Right.
Because you know where I come from and you know where I stand with your issues or what you're doing. And I gave him his freedom.
Okay.
You know, and it didn't take him long to shape up because there's no money being made. Who wants to deal with that? The streets is not going to be the way. And proudly, you know, and I say that he had gotten himself together. He was working in the city for Canon, selling the copy machines to large industrial companies. Yeah, he was doing really well with stuff. In fact, before he passed, I was a consultant. And he goes one day, Ma, this is how Malik was. I'll come up here and talk to my boss. They're gonna hire you for consulting. I said, what? He goes, yeah, I already hooked everything up. Because come on up here. And sure enough, I went up there and landed a contract with them for a couple of months of consulting. And I said, you know, you always got me.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how he was.
Wow.
He was when we had the hurricane in the south. He went down there and took footage and brought it back. He went down there and gave out stuff. Took his car down there and gave out stuff. You know, he was very giving, very loving, very sweet. And he just had a free spirit that everybody was good. Malik was the type of kid that he would say to me, Ma, give me money. I would give him the money. We walk down the street and I always tell the story. And he turned around and take the money out of his pocket and give it to a bum. And I said, Malik, you just got that money from me. I'm saying, like, what? He said, Ma, don't worry about it. We got so much more. I said, but Popeye, we don't really. He said, Ma, we got more. And this was from the time he was like 13, 14 years old.
Gotcha.
You know, giving and
So-
loving.
What happened?
Well, February 14th, 2009, he, which was Valentine's night, he walked into a store in Brooklyn. And from what was told to me, and I never really got too deep into it because I had so much to deal with after he was gone, Malik was Muslim. And he walked in and he was promoting Islam in the sense that he wanted to tell the store owners that they should not be selling beer and ham to, you know, the people outside. And he always was very open about his Islam. That's what he was raised in. And for some reason that night, it went bad, you know. And I guess whatever, from what I understand from the taping, that the store owner got alarmed by his interaction with him. And there were people that guarded the store. And from what the authorities said...
What kind of... It was just a regular deli grocery?
Yeah, deli grocery on Mermaid in Brooklyn, Coney Island.
Okay.
But those stores, from what we understand, are usually drug-related stores. So from what we get is that the person that watches the store for the drugs suspected that he was something to do with that, which he wasn't. He just was spreading the word, you know.
Like he was, so they thought that maybe he was like some type of decoy.
Yes, for
something that
something
was
that
about
they
to go
would
down.
exactly.
And they popped off.
Yes. So he went after he did what he did, and you see the owner on the video. You see the owner kind of saying, you know, like, you know, okay, you know what's going on here. And they're going back and forth. But as he left and he entered into his car, somebody came up from the side window and took his life. You know, and he, you know, thank God, instantly, you know, passed away. So there wasn't, you know, hopefully too much pain and suffering for him. But
So what, was he like shot in the head or something like that?
no, actually in the heart.
In the heart.
Yeah, in the heart. So yeah.
So
So I
how do you find out?
Yeah, I get the phone call. Well, no, actually, my daughter got the phone call that the detectives would be coming to the home. And at that point, she woke me up out of my sleep and said, Ma, some detectives just called and they said something about Hami. We called him Hami because James, Malik Adam James, and James is Hami in Spanish, we're Puerto Rican. So he said, somebody called about Hami. And the detectives said they were coming. And it must have felt like the longest 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it was. And I remember we saying to each other, you know, just sitting there waiting for them, that this can't be good. You know, there's no way that this could be okay. Because if he was hurt, he would be in the hospital and they would have given us some,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But they're insisting on coming to us.
Right.
And sure enough, you know, what I knew, because I could feel it. I could feel it already, you know. He was my son and I could feel it. And he was gone. And they came up the stairs and, you know, they gave us the news. And I just remember going into a fog, you know, from that moment probably for about the next year. And that fog probably protected me from any and everything that could have went wrong, insofar as mental, psychological, and physical, because for a woman to lose a child and have other children, you got to step into game fast.
Right.
You know, for me. And it was not about a pity party. It wasn't about lamenting. It was about, I got 2 other kids to hold down, and they just lost their brother. You know, and I thank God that at the time I was living a spiritual life that allowed me to not make it about me. You know, and for that reason, you know, today is blessings. My daughter's 34 years old today, and I just kissed her goodbye as she went with her husband and her 4-year-old son to Atlantic City, because it wasn't about me. You know, she has a good life today.
Right.
And needless to say that because it wasn't about me then, it's not about me now. You know, and that blessing, you know, that I could hang on there with all that pain, and just say, okay, T, don't go into your pain. Just keep looking at his brother and sister, you know, and hold them down. My son, I'll share this story because it's real and it's on a lot of our videos, and it's been told before. My other son, at the time, when he got the news, he let me know he was going to go retaliate. And I told him at that point that if he was to retaliate, he would leave me with no sons. And at that point, he turned around and looked at me and made a choice. And thank God he chose to start this brand that I'm wearing proudly today, which is Smooth Individuality. And the face of it represents adversity, and me in the face of adversity of his brother's death.
Wow.
Yeah. So he chose to say, all right, Ma, you know what? You're right. I'm not going to go out there and retaliate on this person. I'm going to build a brand that's going to represent my brother and you in this time.
Did they ever capture anybody?
I never pursued it.
Never pursued it?
No. I have a very, very different take, and, you know, I'll share it with you. God takes care of everything. You know, I really have to hold my family and myself down. And I am the type of person that if I start with battles like that, they will tear and destroy me and mine. I will asphyxiate on it to the point of no return. Yeah. I had to make a choice.
Once you go, you know, you go down that, depending on the type of person you are, once you start going down that road, there's no turning back.
No.
It's a road that there's no U-turns.
Exactly.
So basically, at that point, you didn't want to pursue any of the investigation.
No, I just felt that if anything was going to be told to me, they had my address, my number, my phone number, and they would reach out, which you would expect NYPD to do. Have they or had they ever? Absolutely not. To this day, I've never got a phone call from any detectives. I pursued it for about a month or 2 or 3 maybe, and then I came back to it maybe a year later and went to the precinct. And I said, T, you know what? This ain't gonna be good, because you're gonna get locked up. Because every time I would go to the precinct, they would give me the runaround. And I said, you know, they're giving me the runaround if this is a car that I'm missing. And I'm talking about my son that's dead. Yeah. So I said, you know what, T, you better leave this alone, because you're gonna be behind bars. You know, because every time I went in the precinct, I would get heated. You know, so very quickly I realized that nothing would be done by them. And if it was God's will for me to find out, He would let me know.
So is that what really happens when
They don't care about us.
they don't care about us, pretty much, huh?
No, pretty much.
They acted like, you know, it's car missing. My son was killed in a store. You know the players that's there. But see, a lot of them is on the tape. A lot of them being paid off by these drug dealers. Now, I understand the suspicion. I used to hustle. So you master of diversions.
So that's probably why. So they don't want to look to pursue. Somebody passed away. Somebody.
But them dudes from that store is probably paying them off to not bust the store and different stuff. That's gonna stop their money.
Well, you gotta understand, this is Coney Island, Brooklyn. So it's not an area where they're gonna be so concerned with anything when it comes to us. It's the ghetto.
I mean, I don't want to take from your story, but my nephew Kareem, who my son Kareem is named after, was killed broad daylight in Marlboro Projects.
Yeah.
3:30 in the afternoon.
No, let's talk about it.
You know, so I mean,
Yeah,
I know
right.
Coney Island.
Right.
I know Coney Island. You know what I'm saying? He was killed. Broad daylight. Kids come home, shot in the stomach with an AK-47.
I mean, I'm working my foundation right now, and I'm finding out from Hempstead, which I begrudgingly at times, and I'm just being honest, I took on some of the gang members and, you know, just doing some stuff with the community out there, and I found out that there's deaths and murders that go claimed, meaning like we don't even hear about them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they don't care about Coney. Coney Island, they don't care about Coney Island.
Is that just Coney Island?
No, that's just in general.
It's
the
just in
areas
general, but Coney Island is almost like, they've kind of like, well, at least I know back then, you know, they kind of like, you know, we talking the early 90s, man, people were dropping like flies at Coney Island.
I just can't believe that, well,
and it's sad, and then you know, and another thing, these cops is racist. So another part of it is they don't care. Just another black person, y'all killing each other, you know.
Because I'm sure around that time there's cameras everywhere. You know.
But you know the problem, and be honest, and I'm be like, you know, fast forward to now, it's an epidemic, you know. And when you say epidemic, think about what that means. And I'm blessed today because even though I know all the issues that we're talking about, I mean, we're dropping like flies. So realistically, for them, my son, your nephew, it's just
that was like
dropping.
One of the ones that got killed last week.
Right, like okay, there's 10
Why?
more
Because
today.
somebody else got killed, you know.
And it's too much of it to really make an impact where somebody's gonna go, oh my gosh, Tuwanna Anderson lost her son Malik. You know, if you look at my footage, and it's sad, but I'll share this with you. I was in St. Thomas 2.5 weeks ago, walking to meet a foundation owner in the middle of downtown St. Thomas. Overheard a woman's conversation. Woman said why she hadn't heard from her. She said, because my son died. I turned around to the woman and I knew my feeling. I know my feeling. I said, ma'am, I overheard you. How did your son, your firstborn, die? She turned around and said, from gun violence. I turned around and went live immediately in St. Thomas. And I said to the people, can you believe that even down to the Virgin Islands of the United States of America, I'm minding my own business, trying to get to do my work, and I can't even get down the street without meeting this woman. And if you look on my Instagram, and please follow me, Malik Adam James Foundation, on Instagram, all my footage is there. But you'll see the woman go live and tell about how she lost her son from gun violence, and now she's left with 3 grandchildren and a wife of his. So this is not, they don't, you know, and I don't want to keep on saying that they don't care. Because I tell you no lie, I'm taking another approach to that too.
Okay.
Black on black crime. You know, let's open it up. This is where it stands. We're not seeing other communities be hit like we are. I fight this now. And I'm telling you no lie. Most of the shootings, most of the killings, most of the information I get from every state where I'm going is black on black did it. So I can't really be too mad at the cops if my own people are killing me off.
No doubt.
And I'm
doubt.
just being fair.
No doubt. And what was so you were in a dark place, but you realized that you had to move on because you had 2 other children.
Absolutely.
How did you cope?
Yeah.
How did you endure?
Yeah, the endurance, literally, it's, you know, and I have to be honest, it's God, you know. I know that he has a plan for me, and it's not to stop when I wanted to stop. I just knew that if I muster seed enough strength each day, and sometimes I literally got up with just enough strength to just go, you guys okay today? You know, maybe that was the only words you were going to get, but hey, I'm still present.
Right.
So stay present, you know. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give you all of me, you know, because I can't right now.
Right.
And my family has been wonderful in accepting that.
Friends too, I'm sure.
Oh, everybody. Support is phenomenal in my life. To the point that there's times where I just kind of isolate and say it's so much support that I need a minute, you know.
So why a foundation?
Oh, definitely Wire Foundation, because me and my youngest son, Noah, had spoken about never letting him die in vain. Those words came to us very, thoroughly. That if we didn't, I said to him one day, I said, Noah, you know what I'm worried about? He goes, what? I said, and I started crying. I said, I'm worried that people are going to forget Malik. I said, what if people start forgetting Malik? They're going to start forgetting. Think about it. And I went in a frantic. I said, think about it. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4. They're going to forget. They're not going to remember. And I started flipping out. And he turned around to me and he said, Ma, we'll start a foundation. We'll start a foundation. Calm down. Calm down. Because if that's the biggest thing that you're scared of, that they're going to forget your 25-year-old son, I will help you. And he has. We'll start a foundation. Calm down. Don't flip out.
Right.
His name will be ringing bells
Name
for
will
the
be
rest
on
of
it.
the year. It's
We'll
it.
put his full name.
Yes. And it's so funny.
His middle name too.
Yes, everything. And I'll tell you to this day, Malik Adam James Foundation, and I share this, with pleasure. He has his own checkbook. He has his own account.
Dope.
He has his own
dope.
bookkeeper. He has everything, and he is alive in that foundation. I carry him.
That's what usually happens when people start a foundation. 'Cause I think they did one for Junior's mother, the child that got stabbed in the Bronx in the deli.
Okay, I didn't know.
Oh, they started a foundation?
I believe his family.
Yeah. I think I saw something like that.
Started a foundation.
Yeah.
You see a picture of him like everywhere. Like
Yeah.
you go on like certain social media pages. People,
Yeah. I did see
supporting
a
him.
foundation. Yeah.
Yeah. So foundations really help.
Absolutely, because they actually give you a channel to heal from. So what happens is there's so much anger, and I can tell you as a mom that's lost a child, there's so much anger that you have to filtrate it from somewhere. And I have so many ways to filtrate it, but the foundation is my biggest,
It gives you a conduit.
Yeah, it's like a channel.
Release.
It's like, right, like I wake up in the morning and it's like, okay, and it's like, oh, well, you got to call this one. Or, well, no, send a text to Malik. Make sure that I'm going to be on the show today. Oh, wait, St. Thomas. Oh. And you never get a chance to reap that anger.
So what does the foundation do?
Oh, wow. So what do we do? It's funny that you say that. I just finished writing out my goals today, and I had to present them to someone. And that's great that you asked me, because I just emailed the person the goals today after like a 2-week procrastination lab, which I'm a procrastinator. It's okay, but I get it done, I got to give myself a pass today sometimes. It's hard.
Yeah.
But my foundation does a lot. So what we started with was going to schools and making seminars for gun violence awareness. And our last seminar for gun violence awareness was back in November. We did Freeport High School, which was 3,000 students. We stayed there all day.
Nice.
We worked very, very, very closely with the staff over there. They are amazing. And we bring gun violence awareness in a platform to the students as a awareness assembly.
Okay.
So that's our biggest thing. We go to schools. Then I started something called the 50 States, 50 Family Campaign, which right now I have 4 states under me. That is a campaign that I started that literally takes a mother from every state, including the Virgin Islands. I'm sorry, Marina. I love you. You are my mom from Virgin Islands.
Shout out Marina.
Yes, Marina. Met my love. In fact, talked to her today too. I stay with my moms. So what this is basically the idea and the concept that people heal through identification. People heal through, I've been there. If I see you and you're doing good, I can get there. And
Right.
I was taught this concept about 10 years ago.
Right.
And when I started feeling like nobody understood how a mom that loses a child has to try to adapt back into the world and act normal when we're not, I started realizing that other mothers may need to channel that somewhere. And what I do now is I'm making this campaign to go to every state, find a family that has lost to gun violence, partner with them, helping them to heal through me and my foundation, staying with them and allowing them to go on and heal with me and be the source of strength to that state for any mother that goes through it. So far we have Atlanta, a mom. We have a mom in LA. we have a mom in New York, and we also have a mom now in St. Thomas. And these mothers were brought to me through God. I did not go look for them. People have called me and said, this is a mother that has lost. I go to them, and they channel and band with me. And what happens to them is what happened to me. Instead of pity-pottying over what they've lost, they're able to help the next mom. And my mom in Atlanta went on to find another mom already, and my mom in LA is mentoring her next mom.
You're trying to spread this.
Wow.
Yep, and it's working. So I'm really hoping that this year I can get a real push on it and get out there, because it worked and it's so
That's part
cool.
of why we here.
Right.
Because we're going to be promoting it. We're going
Right.
to be putting it out.
And imagine how powerful if we bond every state with a mom under the foundation for gun violence, helping, coaching, enduring with those other moms.
Right.
The strength of the power of that.
Yeah. And there's been enough gun violence and enough
Everybody
deaths
has
that
faced
it should
it.
be no problem.
Right. And the moms are loving it because they're saying, okay, I'm supporting them as the hub, but they're channeled to give away some of that pain too. You know, I called Marina today out of fluke. I tell you no lie. Marina, how you doing? I'm going to be down there for 10 days, me and you. She said, we're going to get out here. I'm ready.
10 days.
And her son just died in August.
Shoot, take the
That's all.
Yes.
Wow.
And he was 32
You going
years
back
old.
with St. Martin, you said?
Yeah, no, this is St. Thomas, USVI. I just banded with them. I'm working with the governor
I need to get away.
and Senator Blyden, and I'm going over there to help them. They had the hurricane too. There's a disaster over there. You know, so I do that. I do the awareness. And then I also work with people that have gone into incarceration from Long Island, came out, and try to give them a concept of where do you want to go after incarceration, because we realize that you're going back to jail if we don't get something.
If you don't
Because a lot of them do.
Right.
You know, a lot of them feel like, jail is
Yeah, that's the way to go.
it's
Yeah.
the way to go.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just
when
go
you
back.
served all that time in jail, and you feel like, I would think like, having your freedom
Would mean something.
will mean something.
Absolutely not.
But believe it or not, people actually rather go back.
Absolutely. And I'm dealing with that right now, and I'm realizing that it is tougher than I thought insofar as handling that, because we've mentored some people, and
Because some people are institutionalized.
right, they derail. They derail.
They institutionalized.
And they can't listen.
They're so used to being in an institution.
No, but you know what's happening
that
too?
being out is hard.
Well, we're finding mental. I was talking to Governor, Senator Biden, and we were talking about mental illness is a big factor now too. That they want to start posing into the educational awareness that they
No,
want to
mental
do.
illness is
We're on our
big.
people,
Yeah.
on our kids.
That gotta be a mental thing for you to feel, being incarcerated. I mean, you get your freedom. I mean, at this point.
But it's easier when you're incarcerated, everything's provided for you.
Exactly. You can just sit back and relax and get big off the system, and you can't worry about it because you can't go nowhere. So it's a problem.
Hots and the cops, huh?
Right.
You ain't got to do nothing. TV, to this, to that.
And I tell
to
you,
that.
we started this with endurance. Let's go back to the
Rent.
endurance.
Look, rent.
But
You ain't got to pay rent or
Nothing.
mortgage.
you ain't gotta pay rent or mortgage, but how about your love life?
Oh, please. They get that in
Yo,
there too.
those guys get married. Yo, but no
I
tell you
ain't
something.
gonna get mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
Them jail
A lot
dudes
of-
have no problem with women. They
No.
be having 4 or 5
Yes.
women.
Yes. It will work. It will work.
Some of you
And
kids,
a lot of women, for some reason, a lot of the
chicks be up there fighting on visits to see dudes.
yes.
Well, listen, you got to realize that that's why we're saying the mental state of mind of everyone is the problem, because our people don't have the self-esteem, to not want to go back to jail. Like you said, you would think that but our self-esteem levels are different. We value life. I value the fact that when I finish this, I'm gonna go home and go back to my nice house and I'm gonna relax for the evening. You value as well, and you're gonna go back in.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna go up.
They don't have that
I'm
because
sleep
they
so good tonight.
Yeah, think about a street urchin. They never had that. So
Never
what do
had
they?
that, yeah.
Right. What do they get? And we found that we have brought them in, taken them off the streets, and done work with them, taken them on trips, provided things for them, and
Really?
they still derail.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
It's
we
still
have.
around?
Yeah, we have one right now that has derailed, and literally we did everything for them, and it's just systemically, what the system is telling me, meaning judges, lawyers, and everybody else, is that it really isn't about what you give them; it's about the addiction to that lifestyle.
Yeah, the streets are addictive.
Right. And if you feel that that's where you used to being and your self-esteem ain't there, you're going back. And like you said, the jail part. Listen, I've been there 4 or 5 times. I know how it is. I'm just going to go back for a while. You know, no big deal.
You go chill out.
Yeah, take a break.
I can't.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
I know what happens. I know because, I watch Lock Up Raw.
Mm-hmm.
It comes on CNBC. So I like to watch that a lot. And they give stories about, people that been in jail, incarcerated for years, over 30 years. And, they get this chance of freedom. And they still got to see their parole officers and things of that nature.
Get housing.
Right. And they derail.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, our youth, and this is what we see with the foundation, and I can tell you the truth. I've been to different states. I've sat down with a lot of people in the last couple of years working this type of work, and literally, our morals and our standards are gone.
Has this foundation really do you have a regular job besides the foundation or this?
Well, actually, I had a job, and I've retired as of about maybe 6 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you can put all your work into the foundation.
Absolutely. And I tell you no lie, the
I'm jealous. So you just wake up. You ain't gotta go.
Like I wake up and go, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do today? What role do I play? And I literally ask God every morning to channel me to help people.
So Monday morning, my Monday morning ain't your Monday morning.
No, my Monday morning is okay. How many of my women do I have to call back? What schools am I thinking? Or a lot of times, honestly, I'm on flight. I was just in Texas a day ago. In Houston, and I'll tell you what my life is like. I live a spiritual life that is channeled by existence of a conscious contact with God. Right. He really moves me. So I'll give you this, what happened. I was sitting in the house, and I just had gotten the governor and the senator from St. Thomas and the Board of Ed to sign up with us for gun violence awareness. And I'm going to start working with the USVI. Nice. Yes. Wow, that's nice. So I come home, and the woman that I am, and I'll be honest with you, the next morning I woke up and she had depression, because when I worked so hard to get these connects, and it took me 7 months of red tape to get through, and finally I get through, and they go, sure, you can have the whole island. Well, the way my mind works, that's an adrenaline rush that I was working on, and I came home and I crashed. And
I know about that. Working.
Yeah.
To get to something.
And then it's just a depression, and I was just like, oh my, and and the other side of me is, do you realize what you just got? And I went, I don't care. So as I was laying in the bed, and
why do you think that is?
Okay, so I was explained why by my lawyer actually yesterday, which is a phenomenal. Benita Joseph, we love you. She called me, and I was in Houston, and I told her, and she goes, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Let me tell you what happens with that. And she's a sister too, very, very renowned lawyer. She actually said that what happens is that you are adrenaline rushing so high to get it, and the channel of I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get it, fixated. Wow. When you get it, all that energy that you have put is not necessary anymore, and there's absolutely has to be a downward depression.
Yes.
Because where is that going to go now? And it's a natural response to trying to get something going. And she actually shared with me that even after winning $1 million cases, she'll go home and the same thing will happen to her the next day.
Yeah. So wow. This is what it is. Effort and expectation.
Yes.
Right? The effort you put in is the journey to the expectation. It's more valuable than actually reaching the goal.
But even if you win, you're saying that.
Yeah, because once you get it, it ain't all that. Look, so I always wanted a Range Rover, right?
It's true.
Always wanted a Range Rover. I went through 2-3 leases. Putting off, I could have got Range Rover 2-3 leases ago, so you think that's what, 8-9 years ago. Mm-hmm. Because I was doing business stuff. Every time it's getting close, something would come up with business, and I had to invest in this, that, this. And I was getting resentful. I was getting a little resentful with the businesses because I had plans, right? I wanted my Range Rover. I I get the thing, and it's just like, it's just a car.
You know, I felt like that too in certain instances.
It's just a car.
I'm thinking about it.
You know what I mean? And and sometimes I'm like, oh damn, I got a dope beat. But like the journey to getting there, I actually, all of the things I did to be able to obtain something like that, that's actually where the memories and the pleasure lies in.
Exactly. And what happens is once you,
that's what you were saying.
right, so
Like
once you get it,
like for instance, like when we get, let's just say when we get big,
you are
and
big.
we
Hold
on.
He's big.
He's big.
That's
and
it.
we
They're
on,
big. We're
we
big.
on whatever, right? And we got a show on MTV or Revolt or whatever it is.
Right.
It's gonna be days where we tired, where we ain't gonna want to say, oh damn, I gotta drive into so and so, so and so, and deal with this person and deal with that director of marketing. Damn, I miss the days when we was when nobody was telling us what the this is the fun part.
It's the fun part, yeah.
Well, it's the journey is the fun.
It's the journey.
But then once you reach it, I'll tell you, let's just talk real quickly. I'll just go off into something and I'll get back to this just to show you what you're talking about. So let's give a shout out to Noah with CanX Relate. Noah runs that brand totally and literally has been getting influencers to wear our brand and basically get gun violence awareness out there. All right, perfect example. When we first started, our first influencer, I can't even remember who it was, but we started. My son has put that brand on literally everybody from NBA stars to NFL to Rock Nation, and the list goes on. When we first initially started it, it was like, oh my gosh, you got that one. And he's gonna laugh when he sees this, but like the other day, about 3 months ago, he goes, Ma, I just finished talking to Kaepernick. Kaepernick? The one that took the knee?
Yeah, Kaepernick.
Yeah. And I went, okay. Because he does so much, and he's done so much, and he's phenomenal, and I love you, Papa, if you're watching. That he, and I feel bad because I really don't have the anymore because Papa, you've given it to everybody. I'm waiting for Obama to wear it, because the journey has been 4 years of this young man going out and putting this brand on everybody. And if you take a look at CanX Relate on Instagram, 35,000 deep, the young man is phenomenal, and that brand is on everybody. Rock Nation from the top of the building to the bottom wears it. They support him 100% because of the gun violence. I know that feeling. When we first put it on that first person, it was, and now it's like, okay. But it's not because I'm not appreciative, not because I don't love it. It's just, now it's just, we're there. The plateau has been reached, and that excitement of it kind of dwindles just because of human nature.
Yeah, it's gonna dwindle.
It gets to a plateau of, now for him, of course, because he makes it and he's out there and he's challenged by every influencer that he tries to put it on, he's channeling that every day and he's great at it. For me, Mom, back in the foundation world, I'm sitting behind him going, okay, I'm going to run over here to save the children. And he's like, but Ma, look at, so we both playing these roles.
Because it's like, when you achieve a goal, then it's like, okay, what's next?
Right.
Yeah, but what I came to realize in life in general, with anything that you work at to get to a certain point, I realized even when you get to where you need to get to, it's always good to continue to work just as hard.
And that's absolute.
Because what ended up happening is that, you appreciate it, but when you stop putting that effort in there, things start being a little bit different.
Well, he says that to me all the time. Well, my son always said that. I tell him, I'll say it. I say, take a break. He goes, Ma, whatever I did to start this, I got to keep doing it or it's going to lose it.
Right.
That's why it was so important that I said that I wanted to say hi to him real quick because he's out there. And sure enough, on the FaceTime, he's delivering something. He's picking up merchandise. He's getting stuff out to.
And he's calling his mom.
Oh yeah, he's on next. Yeah, definitely.
Mom is okay.
Right, and look at the message, Ma. Wherever you are in the world.
That's nice.
Yeah, wherever you are in the world, I'm sending my love. That's the way we live, And of course, he's still my son, and But at the end of the day, we try to live in love. And Malik, I'll tell you how Malik lives. So getting back to what I was telling you about me feeling sad, I got up and I'm very impulsive. So I looked at my mother and I told her, I said, you know what, I'm going to get on a plane tomorrow. She goes, where are you going? I said, I don't know. For some reason, it's telling me Houston, Texas. So I come back from the Virgin Islands. I'm depressed. Now I'm going to Houston, Texas. Call me crazy. So I jump on a plane. I go to Houston, Texas, and I'm out there. I said, okay, now you're here in Houston, Texas. What are you going to do? So I said, God, send me some work. You know, I tell him like that. And he knows what I'm saying when I say that. And this is how I got every mother that I've gotten. So I'm in Houston, Texas. I asked these people, what's going on here? They said the rodeo. I said, okay. So I go to the rodeo. And the next day, I go to the mall. And I get to the mall, and something impulsively tells me to go into a store. I go in the store, and I see these beautiful shoes. And I'm not really big on buying anything for myself these days because I really run the foundation, and I try to really live a humble life. Mm-hmm. But these shoes were calling me because they had butterflies on them. And I'll tell you what butterflies signify to me. A year into a program that I worked, and shortly before Malik died, he gave me a butterfly pendant. And it's a symbol of freedom. So I looked at these shoes, and they had butterflies all over the shoes. So the man sits there, and I said, can I see these shoes? And Malik's saying to me, Ma, get those shoes. And I said, give me the black ones. And the man in the store goes, no, those black ones are morbid. Take the white ones. I said, okay, give me the white ones. I'm already feeling the spirit of Malik in the room.
Gucci?
No, they actually were, what's that name? Michael Kors, yeah. So I turn around, and the man goes to get the shoe, and a lady comes in the store. Can't make this stuff up in the spiritual world. And she has a little boy with her, and she goes and whizzes around me like this and goes back to walk out the store and looks at the little boy as he's walking by me and goes, come on, Malachi, let's go. Now the man is going to get the butterfly, and Malachi's in the store. Remember, my son's name is Malik. So I'm looking at this, and I'm feeling the spirit. You know, I know how it goes. And as she whizzes out of the store, and Malachi is gone, I know what Malik is saying, buy these shoes. I get up to the car. I get up to go buy the shoes, and the gentleman said, I said, you know, these shoes is important to me. My son died from gun violence, and he gave me a pendant. The man turns around and says, oh my God, ma'am, I just lost 3 members of my family to gun violence. My cousin, and my 2 niece or nephew, I can't remember recall it, but to sum it up, we sat there and cried. And it's been short. It happened recent. It made the news of Houston, Texas.
Wow.
And they mutilated the people's bodies.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, needless to say that when I wanted to know why I was going to Houston, Texas, this is what God does.
That's why
for
you're
me.
supposed to go.
So that's why I don't have a job.
To meet him.
Right. So now what do I do? So I called back today, and I said, you know, I told him, I said, listen, tell your mom, this is what I do. I'll come back, we'll talk. And of course, today I reached out to him, and he said, yeah, his mom wants me to come back, and you know, they'll be my family from Texas.
Nice.
Yes. And you know,
love stories like that.
And it's not about me. I don't got to put no effort. I just got to follow. I got to be open enough to just follow that lead.
So it happened organically.
Right.
Basically.
They all have.
I want you to because we got to take our pictures and stuff. I want you to plug how people can find you, all of your social media links and everything, and if you have any events and stuff.
Absolutely. So we have first and foremost Can't X Relate on Instagram. That is our Instagram for our clothing brand. And then we also have the Malik Adam James Foundation, which is also on Instagram. And then my website is the MalikAdamJamesFoundation.org, and you can see basically where we stand and where we came from and where we're going insofar as the foundation, and keep plugged with us. The Instagrams are big. We're big on Instagram, big social media, and Facebook as well we have too. But the Instagram we live in Instagram.
You live in Instagram.
And we keep it live and direct where you can really watch and see the work being done.
Wow. Well, I'm going to be following.
Please do. Please. We need the followers. We need the help.
I'm going to be checking you guys out.
We're going to be blasting this show, too.
When this show drops next week, we're gonna blast it. It's already going to be on YouTube, so you can actually watch it. But the podcast and stuff, that'll be up next week. And you know, for anybody that's out there that's mourning a child, get in touch with her.
Absolutely. Yes.
Great sister, great spirit.
Yeah, in fact, I think some of the sites actually have my phone number on them, and you know, I'm open to it. Please, you know, be mindful that You know, I am a mom that has lost a child, and be sensitive to me and my needs as well, but I am here for anybody that needs it. Oh, we're also looking to launch a 1-800 number for moms, yeah, and we're gonna try, yeah, that's a big this year. I need that to happen. We're 1-800 number that gives resources and counseling to moms that wake up in the middle of the night like I do and can't sleep because they're thinking of their children that they lost.
Listen, dope. It's been another great episode.
That's right.
Tuwanna Anderson, Malik Adam James Foundation. Check it out. And you know, this is the inspiration that we get up here. People coming on the show that are doing wonderful things. We've met so many wonderful people like yourself.
Great stories too.
And at least you've been able to turn tragedy into triumph.
Absolutely no other way. I mean, my son's life is priceless.
Yeah, and we appreciate you.
We appreciate you coming to the show.
And look, it's been another great episode of Conversations with Malik featuring Jeff Joes.
That's right.
And remember, we love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.